This video is going to show you how to do the UV mapping on a cereal box. So halfway through this video, we'll stop it and have you create a design for a cereal box for our kitchen scene. So let me show you first how to do the UV mapping, and this might be a review for you if you did the last assignment, and so it's good to review it because there's a lot of steps on the UV mapping. If you didn't do it, this will show you how to do it. So let's first make a cereal box. So last time we did a cube. Let's do a cereal box and just make it the proportions a little bit different. So I'm going to grab my scale tool. First I'm going to get rid of the camera and the lamp. Just get them out of the view. Okay, scale tool. I'm going to make it a little bit taller, a little bit wider, and definitely skinnier. Okay, so it's good to scroll around because it looks really skinny at this angle, but then when I come around it looks a little fatter. So I'm going to make it a little skinnier. Okay, maybe make it a little taller. That's pretty good. Okay, now that I've got my box sized up, I'm going to translate tool and get it up above the grid so it's sitting on the grid. Okay, got my cereal box. So let's mark the seams, cut it so we can make it flat, and that way we can save it as a PNG, bring it into Photoshop, design it, and bring it back and put the design on our box. So first thing, let's go to edit mode, and I'm going to select the edges. So select your edge tool down here, and I'm going to right click on this one. Actually, scratch that. I'm going to right click over here, hold down shift and right click over here, and on the back. Okay, I want the front to be, let's see, I want the top panel to be connected to the front panel and also connected to the bottom, and then I'll show what we'll do next. So click shift, hold down shift and click that, those two edges. Actually, I'm going to deselect that edge because I want it to go around. I want the front and the back to be both right side up. On our cube, we went from top to bottom around the bottom, and then it was kind of upside down. So it's good to go around this way so the front and back panel both are right side up for when we design it. So I'm just going to mark this one seam right here, and then I'm going to go to the bottom, hold down shift and right click the edges on the back and the sides, and keep the front one connected to that front panel. So this tab will be connected to the front panel and the top one connected to the front, and then it will go all the way around. So after you get those checked or marked, selected, then come over here to your panel and we're going to mark the seams. Mark seam. Okay, and that's our seams right there that it's going to cut to flatten it. So select everything by hitting A twice and you get it selected. Now I'm going to come up here and drag out a new screen. So we got a side-by-side screen. If you put your mouse over here and hit T, that toolbar goes away. We don't need it. You can resize those if you need to. And we're going to change this view from 3D view to the UV image editor. We can zoom in on that a little bit. Okay, now that we've marked our seams, let's unwrap it. So put your mouse back over here, hit U, and unwrap. Okay, now Blender, it made it cube size, and so it didn't keep the proportions. So we need to do a couple settings to get those proportions back. So let's come down and change it to object mode. Right here, object, click on that, and go to apply and scale. So we're going to apply the scale that we put on it, the change of scale. Now let's go back to edit mode and type U on the keyboard. We're going to reset it. Okay, and then hit U one more time, and then we're going to unwrap it. Okay, if you didn't quite get that, rewind the video, you'll get it. Now we've got our proportions here, and so when we export this as a PNG, we can bring it into Photoshop and paint over it and bring in pictures. and different things for our cereal box. So this will be the front panel of the cereal, this the back with the games on it, side panel with nutrition, facts, and the top and bottom panels. Okay, and then this will be our right panel that will wrap all the way around and connect over here. So we got two panels, two side panels, back and front, and top and bottom. So when you bring that into Photoshop, let's save it as a PNG first. So let's go down here to UVs and export UV layout. Now here you'll select your file, so go to the V drive and your folder that you save everything to, and give it a name, maybe UV mapping or cereal box map, and then export UV layout. When you've got that done, you can go to Photoshop in the T106 folder, open up Photoshop, go to File and Open, and then you will find your PNG file there. It will look like this in Photoshop, and you'll design it, your box within these squares, so when you bring it back in, it will fit this map. So stop the video here, and you'll be working on Photoshop probably for the rest of the class. And then when you're done, come back to the video, and it will show you how to do the rest. Now that you've got the design finished in Photoshop, you need to make sure that you save it as a PNG. You can save over what you had before, that's fine. Now that you've got it saved, let's go to up here on this panel right here. If you need to scroll over, just use your mouse wheel, scroll over, and let's get texture. And if you have all this down here, let's just hit this X right here to close it, and we'll start over. So get a new texture, and instead of clouds, we're going to get an image or movie, and ours of course will be an image. And then when you've got that right here open, and then we'll go find our document. So go find yours in your V drive, and you can open it up. I'll find mine real quick. So I've got an example here of a cereal box layout. It's a nicely professionally designed one, but that's because I'm the teacher, I can do that. Okay, so it's showing up right here. Now we want it to get show up right here and eventually onto our box so we can see it. So let's do a couple things to get it there. If you come down to the mapping section, if it's not open, just click it to open it up. And right here, instead of generated, we're going to do UV, because that's what we have here is the UV map. And then let's click here and click on it. Oh, mine zoomed way in. Okay, so I clicked on this button right here and went to my saved file that I just opened up. Okay, mine's not fitting perfectly, and so I can move this map around by scaling it, hitting S on the keyboard. You can scale it in and out, get it to a good size, click the mouse, and I can move it around by hitting G on the keyboard. So then I can move it where I need it to. And that fits pretty good right there. Mine doesn't fit perfectly because I brought it in from outside source, but that's pretty good. Now that it fits on there where it needs to be, let's get it over here on this box. So we will do a couple more settings. Come over here, put your mouse on this side, hit N on the keyboard, and it brings up this menu right here. That's an N on the keyboard. Now under display, let's open that up, and under shading, let's change that to GLSL. And then texture solid, check that, and the texture comes right onto our box. Now to see it, we can zoom in. To see it better, we can deselect everything, hit A, and there's the design right on the box. So I've got the front, I've got the side panel of nutritional facts, the back with the games, the top, bottom, left panel, and there it is. Looks pretty cool. We can get rid of this now and get rid of the menu by hitting N again, and there it is nice and big.